I see your face across the sea. You're in the waves surrounding me. I hear your voice call on the breeze, on the ship out on the ocean. Sailing across the sea on a big ship on the ocean. The moon is rising in the east, stars hang down around her. The bows arrow to the hearts of the ones we wish to come home to. But the newly lit night directs this flight, singing the ocean road will guide you. I see your face across the sea. You're in the waves surrounding me. I hear your voice call on the breeze, on the ship out on the ocean. When I wake, I'll cast my anchor down and dive below. I'll dive into my lover's arms along the ocean's cold. Across the sea and to our homes, we'll meet again so soon. You'll be with me across the sea on the ship out on the ocean. I see your face across the sea. You're in the waves surrounding me. I hear your voice call on the breeze, on the ship out on the ocean. I see your face across the sea. You're in the waves surrounding me. I hear your voice call on the breeze, on the ship out on the ocean. On the ship out on the ocean. On the ship out on the ocean.
Well, hello, Sonder family. Welcome to National Coloring Book Day. And thank you, Karen. She just pointed out it's also ice cream sandwich day. So we'll be getting my keys after this and treating myself so that I can properly celebrate such a day. Welcome to this month's Coloring Social. I'm glad you're here. It is National Coloring Book Day. Did you know that that existed? I love it. I love that we're celebrating coloring, this good thing for us. I'm Jennifer Ogilvy, and I get to be your facilitator this evening as we dive into that beautiful coloring page. And I loved last month and this month because it's ocean animals. And so I can really lean into that fun summertime, beachy, soothing music as we dig into our coloring practice. Joining me this evening, my co-facilitator is the fabulous Malika, and she's already coloring. She had her book going, or her her journal open. There she goes. And she said, I'm already getting ready for our social. So she will also be monitoring the chat. If there are any questions along the way, feel free to drop them in the chat and she'll do her best to answer them or point you in the right direction. It's really good to see you guys. Thank you for the sweet welcomes in there. And we will probably not finish our page tonight, and that is okay. So you started your practice and you can carry it forth through the rest of August. Just a couple of quick reminders. These are our community guidelines for our time together. above all, this is a safe space, and we respect everybody's privacy, no bullying, hate speech, that kind of stuff. And mainly, just take care of yourself and take what you need from our time together. Our month's theme is tranquility. And I have shared that, as a former educator, August and tranquility have never gone together in my world. And so I'm very excited about kind of digging into this concept of what brings me those tranquil feelings, especially this time of year. I'm no longer working, but I still get like that back to school stuff. And we're seeing the ads on TV. It really is like summer's over and this reset. So whether we're part of that education world with kids or our careers, or we do something else, I think we all still kind of get that message that something new is coming. And I love that we're going to be exploring tranquility as we start saying goodbye to summer and welcoming in some cooler weather and the fall. So this evening, I'd like to ask, is there anybody joining us for the very first time at a coloring social? Please drop me in the chat so we can welcome you. Oh my goodness, lots of new folks attending with us. Well, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I hope that you will make this coloring time, a date with yourself each month. There's a lot of good things that come from adult coloring. We're going to go over a couple of those before we get going. We've got a quick opening activity. I'm going to share the tools of the trade very briefly. And you might want to get prepared to grab a screenshot. It's all the good colored pencils and markers recommended by you all in one place. So I'll be sharing that. And then we're going to color, and then we'll have our closing together. I've got lots of beautiful chills, kind of seaside music to listen to as we go about our evening together. So let's really quickly, I think it's important for you guys to know how important coloring is to your mental health. And there's so many benefits from this practice. So let's take a look at them real quickly. The first thing, it relaxes your brain. And when your brain is relaxed, it has improved function. When you're coloring, you engage the different hemispheres of your brain. They get very activated, and you're doing some of that good crossover, and the synapses are firing because you're using both this artistic side, but also kind of technical side. Secondly, it does kind of make your brain think you are in a meditation state. Like maybe when you're doing some breathing and some yoga. This is a very good thing for folks who have a hard time sitting still, and for meditation. I'm not a good sitter, and coloring does help me enter that meditative state, but it keeps me busy. So that is another great benefit, because it also allows you to stop thinking about your future or your past. You're focused right there in the here and now. It improves your motor skills, right? We're using those little bitty finger motions. We are getting, I was looking for my phone, this is not engaging much in our fingers when we do a lot of swiping on these electronic devices. But man, when we are coloring, we are keeping those motor skills up, which, that's all that stuff going on in the brain. It's super important that we're using our fingers. And if you ever want to change something up, try coloring with your non-dominant hand. Talk about some brain energy going there and motor skill stuff. Also, coloring improves your sleep. If you color for just a few minutes before you go to bed, it settles your brain down. Whereas if you're on your phone right before you go to bed, your brain is actively engaged. So if you're trying to swap out break a habit at night that is keeping you from sleeping, try putting a few colored pencils by your bed and doing a little bit of coloring. Another benefit to adult coloring is it will improve your focus, because it engages the frontal lobe of our brain. And that's that spot in our brain that does all our organizing and problem solving. Coloring reduces anxiety because if you can color for 20 minutes or more, it will lower your heart rate. And a lowered heart rate decreases feelings of anxiety. It doesn't make anxiety go away, but it's a good way of lowering that amount of anxiety. 20 minutes was the scientific time that was found to have the most benefits. It reduces stress. It's a repetitive activity. It requires those attentions to detail. And when you're focusing on coloring, you're leaving behind the things that caused stress during the day. Yes, Renee, it really does have all these benefits. I love that. Scientists said, let's look and explore what it does to the adult brain, because so often we think, oh, coloring's for kids, right? And so I love that we've got some concrete scientific data that shows us the benefits. It helps us justify this time that we've carved out for ourselves. So we're going to start with a very quick opening activity. I've got our little dolphin friend here in celebration of the page that we're going to be working on this evening. And I want to share something very interesting about dolphins. And we actually had a dolphin page a little over a year ago, and I shared the same information. We are unconscious breathers. We just breathe. Our body takes care of it. But dolphins are conscious breathers. And so they always have to engage their brain to take a breath. They have to think, go take a breath. Now, how they manage this is, they're created with half their brain will shut down, giving the other half of the brain time to rest or time to be awake. So half the brain goes to sleep and the other half stays awake and allows for the conscious breathing to continue so that they live. Whereas we just breathe, right? So I want to be inspired by our dolphin picture tonight. We're going to take just a moment and we're going to engage our conscious breath like a dolphin. And what I want you to do is I'm going to put on some soft music and I want you to just inhale, doing those deep, deep, deep belly breaths. Make that tummy go way out. Do it to the count of 5. Pause. Hold that breath just for a moment. And then exhale slowly to the count of 6. And then repeat. So really grasp on to that conscious breathing. I'm going to go off camera and play this music for just, a minute or two as you engage your breathing to resettle and prepare yourself for your coloring meditation this evening. And exhale that final breath. I hope that you notice the stress of the day releasing in your shoulders. Thank you for taking time for this breathing activity. Sierra brought up a great point and said if you struggle with executive functioning, coloring by numbers can give you the benefit of coloring without the anxiety. And that is so true. And I want to point out in our beautiful life workbook, there is a coloring page and it is color coded by words like ambition, indulgence, courage. And so you can use a page like this for your coloring practice. And again, that one's the one from our life workbook. Thank you for adding that information, Sierra. I appreciate that. So I hope that you are kind of relaxed now. Let's dig in. The color by number gives you anxiety. Yes, Lydia. Sometimes it's just easier to close your eyes and grab a color. So very quickly, this is the tools of the trade that I referred to, and you might want to just grab a quick screenshot if you are exploring tools to use in your journal, things that Sonder family members have been successful with. All of this information came from recommendations over the months and months and months. When I see something, I grab it, I put it on the list. And so these are the colored pencils with a little bit of information about the different types of pencils that are available to you. Now, there's not you're going to hear me say this all the time about coloring. There is not a right way or a wrong way to do it. It is your practice. And so you can use what you want in this for your page. And I actually have a set of colored pencils that came from a grocery store, and it's a generic brand, and they're beautiful. They go on the paper so lovely. But I also have some nicer Prismacolor colored pencils. So no right or wrong way to do this. That all the tools, you can use a regular leaded pencil if you want. So there's information on colored pencils if you want to dig a little deeper into those tools. And then here are pens and markers. They're in ABC order from Sonder family. When people say, hey, what do you use in your journal? And you may want some fun pins for your weekly setups or your habit trackers. So you might want to grab a screenshot of that. And I actually added, because Malika and I were talking about all of these tools tonight, the Pilot Juice Up. That's a new one. She has it in black. She loves that. It's fine and it makes beautiful marks in the journal. And we searched it on Amazon and there's a colored set. So you can grab those tools, that picture as well, if you want to kind of explore some new tools to use. So if you're joining us for the first time, there are so many ways you can approach this page. Sometimes people will just close their eyes and pick a pencil. Remember, this is about the process of our practice, not the end result. Although we do like our pages to look lovely at the end, but it's okay if they don't. If you choose a color, you're like, oh, I should. It's okay. It's about the practice and what it's doing for your brain while you are engaging in this meditation. But I thought I'd just bring up the different techniques. You can see we will start with the top row. That is a black and white treatment of a coloring page. Right next to it is all the colors, right? There is a pencil one done in different tones of grayscale. And then the one that's over on the far right is a grayscale with markers. So it doesn't have to be all bright and colorful. It could have softer colors to it. Going along the bottom, again, another two, just I used one color and it was a red and white. The one next to it is glitter pens. The one in the middle at the bottom there with that red, that is a technique of just taking a marker and not lifting it from the page and just tracing all the spaces that you see. Talk about really honing into your page. Your eyes don't lift from that page. It's a very good way to engage with that coloring page. And then again, just some beautiful bright colors over there. And then I always like to remind folks of the grid approach, or you could draw X's and make shapes over the coloring object. And it's a way to make broader strokes, which is helpful if you have motor issues that bother you. Sometimes my arthritis will really kind of kick in, and those broader strokes are easier to work with. And then when I have a better day, I'll go back in with the same color, but lay it down in a little thicker way. It's also a really good way to practice with shading, getting mediums and darks out of the same color, which is like the one you see there on the bottom left. So again, just some techniques that you might choose to apply to your page. So I'm going to stop talking now. Let's dig into this page. I'm going to play a chunk of music. While you're coloring, remember to focus on your breath, be a conscious breather, and remind yourself this is about the process, the journey on this page. I'll come back in and check on you in a little bit. Okay, I'm popping in to remind you to make sure that you are being a conscious breather. You're leaning into this meditation. You might even need to think about counting those inhales and those exhales. If you are having trouble kind of settling in, hopefully you're finding moments of tranquility in this. I want to encourage you. You can get coloring pages. You just Google free coloring pages. And if there's ever a coloring page in your journal and you're like, that's just not, I'm not into that one, bring whatever page you want to our time together. And so, um, just again, be sure that you're breathing and remember it really is about process, the journey tonight, not about the end product. I'm going to put on some more music. Thank you to those of you who've taken time to drop some things in the chat. Any other questions? Just let us know. I'm going to put on some more music.
Come with me, my love, to the sea of love. I wanna tell you how much I love you.
Sonder family. family, thank you so much for carving out a few moments in the middle of the week for a little tranquility. Malika and I are so glad that you spent this time with us this evening. We would love to see your coloring page on in our app on Sonder Club. So please share. We still have you get $10 and your friend gets $10 when you use the QR code that you see there on the left for referring a friend. And then the QR code on the right is for your feedback survey, but you will also receive an email following our time together, and the survey link will be there. The surveys are very important. Your feedback matters. You know, we did not have coloring socials until it was suggested by you guys. Like, let's have a coloring social. We didn't even know what that would look like. So things like that are born directly from your feedback. So thank you for ahead of time for filling that out. This was a very early in the month social. If you liked seeing the coloring social a little earlier in the month, give that feedback. And just let us know anything else that you would like to see in your journal to make your journal journey what you'd like it to be. There is my playlist, but I am also going to drop in the Spotify link if you would like to go grab that. This playlist is called You're in Ocean, and it's a bunch of beautiful, slow ocean songs. And I personally it's one of my favorite lists to listen to. I'm so glad that you joined us. Keep coloring. And I hope to see you next month for our coloring social. Y'all have a tranquil rest of the week.
behind.